Yo, 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 yo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy, Chris B. Daniels, and once again, you are on Show and Talk. All right, y'all. So, tonight's movie is a movie from 2020, and I seen this movie in a bargain bin a lot at Walmart. I just never, it was one of those movies I didn't really bother buying. I don't know, it just didn't capture my interest until I watched it on Peacock last night. And that movie is this movie called The Hunt. So, yo, this movie right here is mind blowing. Like, from the violence to the acting. And then it's like, if you watch it, the first two movies that'll probably come to mind is The Purge and Kill Bill, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But basically, what happens is in the beginning, you got these elite people or whatever. I guess they like, the rich, the wealthy or whatever. They're on this this private flight, this first class private flight and all that. So the twist about that whole thing is you think it's just a regular old average everyday, private flight. But what happens is some guy, just a random guy pops up out of nowhere from like the small back room that they got in the back of the plane. He just like he's going crazy. You think he's having like a stroke or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or a heart attack or something. But it's not that. He just woke, like, according to them, he woke up too early. So what happens is there's a doctor that's on the plane. So they grab him, they settle him down, and they, lay him down under some towels. So the doctor character, he asked the flight attendant, does she have a pen? The stewardess, does she have a pen or whatever? So she winds up giving him the pen. And then, now this is when I seen it really coming. It was kind of predictable at that point. So he takes the pen from her and stabs the dude in the jugular. So he starts bleeding everywhere. And he gets up, going crazy and all of that. So he tries to kill the doctor dude. And there's one passenger on the plane. This woman. She comes from the back, blows the dude's head off. You know what I'm saying? Just kills him. Just like that. And then they take him into the back with the rest of the people. The rest of the bodies, but everybody else is still sleeping. So then it fast forwards to this area or whatever. It's like in the middle of nowhere. You got all these people waking up. That was on the flight. It's 12 people. They all wake up with these gags in their mouth. And then once they're up, it's like one girl, the chick Emma Roberts, she's a, big time actress or whatever. So she wakes up. It's at her point of view. So she winds up waking up along with everybody else. And then they're all walking to like the center of the field that they're in because they see like this giant crate. But one of the dudes is there, he takes a crowbar and starts to open up the crate because obviously it was left out there for them. So everybody backs up and goes into the woods because they don't know what to expect. So once he gets the crate open, like he stands back, nothing happens at first. And then out of nowhere, this pig runs out of the crate and starts running around. So everybody's like, huh? What? So they slowly start to approach the crate. And then the dude sees something else, like, deeper inside the crate. So he goes in, pulls out this rack full of weaponry, all kinds of guns. And there's like a sword up there. So everybody runs up to the rack, takes what they need, because obviously they need it for whatever reason. So they taking they taking the weapons. And one of the dudes, it's like one of the other guys, like he finds his key to unlock the gags off of everybody. No, the girl finds the key, I believe. And then, Emma Roberts' character, and unlocks the gags from everybody's mouths or whatever. So now they can talk, everything is fine. And then that's when the shit hits the fan. Out of nowhere, you got all this gunfire just coming from like this base that's like, several feet away, several yards away or whatever. So now people on the field are getting shot. People getting, blown the fuck up and everything else. So Emma Roberts' character which is her name. For some reason, they call her Yoga Pants in this movie. So her and this dude, right? They're running, and neither one of them gets hit. So they hide. Well, actually, they're hiding behind a crate. And like this shot zooms past her character or whatever, right? And she said, "Oh shit, it almost hit me." And next thing you know, her whole head comes clean off. Like they just blow her head clean off. You know what I'm saying? So she's dead now. And then you still got the guy. You know what I'm saying? So he's running across the field or whatever. You know, he saves one of the girls, and they're running, you know, doing the heroic thing. So they're running. And then right before they hit the woods, he looks down, and they both wind up stepping on the mine by accident. And he looks up like, oh shit. And then both of them blow up. So that's crazy. So next thing you know, after all of that goes down, you got a group of 3 people. It's a lady and 2 guys, right? So they're running through the woods. And they come across this barbed wire fence. So this barbed wire fence. Now, I said barbed wire. I'm stupid. But anyway, this barbed wire fence. So they wind up hopping the fence, and they come across this convenience store. So they go inside, and they're panicking and everything. And then the store owners don't know what's going on. So one of the guys takes the gun and, you know, points it at the store owner or whatever. And the store owner thinks that they're trying to rob him, but they say they don't want no money. They just trying to figure out what's going on. They need a phone. You know what I'm saying? They just want to get from away from that area. So what happens was eventually when the dude starts walking around the store with the other 2 people, the woman, she winds up, you know, eating something or drinking something, and I guess it poisoned her or whatever. So she falls or whatever. And then the 2 guys, they wind up getting fucked up by the store owners, because it turns out that the store owners has something to do with the whole stuff that's going on with the elites and everything. You know what I'm saying? So after that, they wind up killing the store owners wind up killing all 3 of these people. So they drag their bodies to the back, and then they get a, you know, call on the walkie-talkie or whatever saying that, you know, there's another person coming their way. Because the thing about this movie, right, if you never saw this movie, I want to tell you, you know, what happens. I mean, I pretty much told you what happened in the beginning and all that. You know what I'm saying? Every character that you come across, you think they're the main protagonist, but it turns out to get killed off. So on the walkie-talkie, they're telling the store owners that, you know, there's somebody else coming, like approaching the store. And then they're asking them, do you want us to take care of it, or are y'all fine? So the store owners is like, okay, we're fine. You know, the older couple, they like, you know, we're fine, send her in. So the woman walks up, right? Comes inside. And this woman, she winds up, you know, being clueless about what's going on, but she knows that she's being hunted or whatever. But she comes off as I'm not gonna say an idiot, but she comes off as like an innocent, naive Southern girl or whatever. Got a cold, y'all. But yeah, she comes off as like this innocent, naive girl. Her name is Crystal, by the way. So what happens is she, you know, she wants a pack of cigarettes, and then the store owner, you know, the lady, she winds up, you know, getting her a pack of cigarettes, and it was something else. I don't remember, but it was something else along with those cigarettes. So after that, she pays the money. Then the dude, like her husband, tries to pull a gun out from the back. So the woman winds up, you know, Crystal winds up slamming the woman's head on the counter, jumps over the counter, takes the shotty, blows the dude, you know, blows a damn hole in this dude, making him look like a donut, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then she goes over to the woman after she kills her husband or whatever and looks at her. The woman is begging for her life, and she's basically saying, you fucked up, you know what I'm saying? You stupid, you fell for the trap, you know what I mean? So winds up blowing her shit away, you know what I mean? So after all of that, she winds up leaving the store, and she come across this one dude. This dude is like a internet personality, but he's also like a conspiracy theorist too. You know what I'm saying? His name is Gary. So Gary is like so gung ho on like, conspiracies and things being fake and stuff not being real. So him and her, they wind up hopping this train or whatever, right? They jump on. And then Gary, he barely makes it onto the train, but he makes it on. So while they're on the train, just waiting to get to their destination, they hear a sound in the back in the same car that they're in. So Gary goes back there, and it turns out it's a whole like family back there in the back, like refugees and whatnot. So Gary starts to criticize them, saying, "Oh, this ain't real. All of this is just an act." And blase, blase. And the dude starts talking to him in his, native language or whatever, begging him to, I guess to keep it down or whatever. So when they get to their destination, which the train wasn't supposed to stop, but when they got to where they got to, everybody was forced off the train, including Crystal and Gary. So, as they're talking or whatever, one of the refugee dudes, the dude that was pleading with them, basically he came off, like it turns out that he wasn't a refugee at all. My apologies, y'all. But yeah, he wasn't a refugee at all, right? It turns out, well, I'll get to that part in a minute, but you know what I'm saying? Like he was one of them. You know what I mean? He was just playing the part to get by. But Gary wasn't having that shit. So what happens is Gary takes a grenade, right? Stuff it down the dude's pants, and he runs off. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying he was full of shit. And then the dude, struggling to try to get it out of his pants, man. No homo, was right next to his nutsack, yo. That was crazy. And so next thing you know, the dude just blows up. Like all of his shit just blow up. You know what I'm saying? He's done. And then after that, they're sitting down at the camp or whatever, Gary and Crystal talking to each other about, just how they got there or whatever. And then this one guy shows up. I forgot what his name is, but he shows up. I guess he's supposedly from the embassy, American embassy or something. So when he shows up, he winds up, giving Gary and Crystal a ride back home, a lift back home or whatever. So Gary is in the back seat I take that back. Gary's not with her. At this point, it's this other guy that Crystal had met. It was an older gentleman. I forgot what he said he did, but he winds up being with her, and somehow Gary had disappeared. So the gentleman that showed up from the American embassy, I believe he was from the embassy, winds up giving them a ride back to their destination, back home or whatever. And while Crystal's in the front, just looking straight ahead, the guy's in the back. His name was Don, by the way. He was in the back talking to the driver or whatever. And Crystal, she finally, I'm not sure how to put it, but it's like she caught on to what the dude was trying to do. So she had raised her legs up, turned them towards the dude, kicked his ass out the car, stopped the car, got out, and basically finished him off because she knew that the dude wasn't really trying to help them. He was all a part of the game, just like everybody else. So after, he kills her, after she kills him, damn, y'all, I can't think tonight. But yeah, after she kills him, she winds up telling old boy Don the story about basically the tortoise and the hare. So, the hare was so cocky and everything. The tortoise was so slow, and the hare won the race every time. But the hare got so cocky, one day winds up falling asleep, and the tortoise just walks right past him, crawls right past him or whatever to the finish line. So the hare finds out he lost. But the extension of the story was while the tortoise was at home with his family, the hare shows up with a mallet or hammer or whatever. It kills his whole family and eats their food and shit. You know what I'm saying? So the moral of the story was the hare always wins no matter what. And basically, the dude, Don, didn't know what to get from that. So she pops open the trunk, and there goes Gary with a knife stuck in his head. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, they go, to go over to where that base was out there in the field from earlier. So, what's her name? Crystal winds up killing all the, I guess, the elite people or whatever that was in that little base. You know what I'm saying? In that little fort. Kills every single one of them. It then come to find out that Don may or may not have been working with them because there's a lady's voice on the walkie-talkie, which was the same lady that murdered the dude on the plane in the beginning, right? Murdered the dude, you know what I'm saying, on the plane in the beginning. So, so basically, what happens is Crystal hears the lady calling his name. Did you do it, Don? Did you get her? Or whatever. So they're pointing guns at each other, and she winds up killing Don because she assumes that, he's working with them because the lady knows his name. And I believe that the situation was manipulated. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was crazy. So after that little spiel, you know what I'm saying? Crystal winds up picking up the walkie-talkie, talking to the lady on the walkie. And the lady, you know what I'm saying? Because the lady's voice is like, you already know whose voice it is, but I'm not going to reveal it yet until we get to the end. Yo, sorry if y'all getting a little sound, extra sound on the microphone or whatever. I don't know what that is. It's just now started happening, but yo, I'm gonna fix it later. But if you can bear with me. So Crystal winds up going to the lady's house, mansion or whatever, her manor. And when she gets up to the gate, the woman wants her to put her gun in the mailbox. So at first Crystal refuses to do it until the lady says, there's basically explosives at the bottom of the gate. And if you don't put your guns up, then I'm going to set them off. So, Crystal complies. She puts a gun up and she goes through the gate. Then she walks in the house, you know what I'm saying? In the mansion or whatever, or the manor. And the woman's in the kitchen cooking. So, the woman's face was already revealed, you know what I'm saying? Because there was a scene where she got fired from her job for saying what she said or whatever. But it turned out that the woman this whole time that was pretty much manipulating a lot of this stuff was Hilary Swank. Her character name was Athena. So they sitting there talking in the kitchen, her and Crystal. So this scene right here, while they're talking in the kitchen, reminded me of the scene with Vivica Fox, you know what I'm saying, and Kill Bill, right? The first one at the beginning. So they're talking. And then what's her name? Athena's basically telling Crystal how, how she got the information or how she knew who she was or whatever. But it turned out that Athena assumed that was the Crystal chick because she was in the picture where whoever was in the picture with her was giving her the finger, which that profile might have belonged to the person who gave her the finger. You know what I'm saying? So we come to find out that this woman, you know what I'm saying? I think she said she was from Alabama or something, but she was one hell of a fighter. I'm gonna tell you that. And she was good with guns. So she told Athena, yo, you got the wrong Crystal, you know what I'm saying? And then they start fighting and shit or whatever. The fight scene lasts for a good little minute. So after they're done, Hilary Swank's character, Athena, winds up dying. You know what I'm saying? And Crystal, she gets up and then she starts to make herself at home. Well, not really, but she, throws on one of her dresses, Athena's dresses. And then she takes the dog, walks out the front door, throwing on some shades. And then she gets on a plane, the same plane that the upper class people was on. And then she told the stewardess basically, I need a ride home. I just killed the motherfuckers that tried to kill me. You know what I'm saying? So they comply, the pilot and the stewardess, whatever. And the stewardess offer her like some caviar and stuff like that. So she says she's never had it. And then, damn. And then the stewardess, you know what I'm saying, said that she never had it either. So Crystal winds up inviting the stewardess to, play the caviar. You can sit down with me and eat. So that's pretty much the movie right there. And the takeaway that I got from that movie was like the upper class versus the lower class, but the upper class looked at certain lower class people as, like heathens and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because every single person that they were hunting appeared to had done something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much why they were hunting them in the first place. In the beginning, they said it was just a joke about what Athena said, about them hunting people for sport. That didn't really happen until, Crystal's character said what she said about this chick. And then she made it happen according to Athena. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it, man. The movie it's a pretty good movie, man. I give it like a 8 out of 10. If you never seen it, you might want to check it out. Hell, I might even buy it on DVD just to have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't give it a chance before. I wanted to watch it, but I just didn't want to waste no money buying it, and it wasn't good. So I saw it on Peacock. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a good movie. And like I said, if you got Peacock, check it out. The movie is called The Hunt 2020. All right? I'm going to get the fuck up off of here now, y'all. I will see y'all next week. Peace.